Okay, so thank you for coming. Today's session is going to be based on Actively Learn, which is a browser-based system in which you can assign work to students. It has some really unique features to it that can make it very, very nice to use in the classroom. Right now, they are running a free Prime version from March 15th until June 30th, and I'll get into that here a little bit more and as we keep going. But with Actively Learn, there are three different main topics that you can choose from. You can choose ELA, science, or social studies. They do have curriculum units. Those curriculum units do cost money, but there's already a lot of stuff on their system that is standards aligned, and you can actually look at it through the lens of Maryland state standards, which is kind of a nice feature. The differences between the free system and Prime system: Prime has a lot of extra stuff added to it. Free lets you use existing templates and articles. You can also import different things as well. Prime does get incredibly expensive. When I was looking around at the site to try to figure out how much it cost, the only way you could get a cost estimate was to actually contact the company. And Prime costs $9 per student per subject. So it gets expensive incredibly quickly. You can bundle all three subjects for $21, or else jump up to $29 per student if you want to have copyright novels and text. It's something that neighboring county of ours, I won't mention the name, but they have it for all of their students as the $29 bundle. We do not, obviously. But one of the nice things about them offering the Prime free for right now until June 30th is that you can actually import as many documents, slides, PDFs, videos as you like into the system until that June 30th deadline. For myself personally, I know I'm probably going to start importing a lot of this stuff once my grad class is over and I actually have what's known as free time to the rest of the world. Some of the benefits of Actively Learn: it allows you for scaffolding of material. You can embed media, hyperlinks, notes, vocab, questions right into the text. Using the questions pull short response feature forces students to answer a question prior to actually moving on to the next segment of the text. They can't actually even see what's going on after the question until they've actually answered the question. Students also have the ability to highlight information. They can take notes directly on the text. They can have word or phrases translated, spoken out loud, obtain definitions for words they are unfamiliar with. One of the nice features I found with this is if you're using a video, when you assign it to students cannot actually fast forward the video. They can't just jump from one question to the next. They're forced to actually watch the video. They can go back and rewatch portions of the video, but they can't fast forward beyond the point that they are already at. It is compatible with Google Classroom, and they have a huge library of resources already established on their site, and you can search it by topic, grade, Lexile level, or even by Maryland state standards. And students could also use the system to work collaboratively with their peers in a classroom that you have linked with Google Classroom. So that's just a very, very brief little overview of Actively Learn. So I actually wanted to get you into the site. To sign up, you can create a free educator account. There are limitations to the free account, but like I said, right now they are offering Prime for free until June 30th. So when you log into the system, this is the page that you encounter at the beginning. And I signed up for science. You're basically forced to create an account for either ELA, science, or social studies, and then you're locked into that account. And I chose science just because of teaching a whole bunch of STEM-related articles and stuff like that. Science seemed like the best fit for me. So I can't really show you ELA or social studies and what they have, but it is what it is. Once you're in this, you could go ahead and search for something like with our egg crash unit, we deal with Newton's laws. So if I did Newton's laws, it comes up with a whole bunch of different things that are already created on here that I could look at, reuse for myself. You could also look at going by curriculum area, topics. They have news and articles that they continue to like upload new things to as like things come out in the general world. You could also search by topics based on grade level, or else if you were like looking at, like, let's say an 11th grade science for the state of Maryland, you can figure out which standard you're looking for. I want that standard, click done, great, and there's none for that one. So not the best example for that one, but there's a lot of different things that you can like search for. And when you're looking at this, if I was going to look at this article here, you can see that this one was already created. And if I like this, I could go ahead and add more notes to it very easily. I can do a lot of different things to it. It already has some questions involved in it. And this is one I already chose. Cool. So if we look at the things that like I've already imported and am using, it's really easy to add content to this. You can import an internet article. You can import things from Google Drive, upload PDFs. You can create quizzes, import videos just by clicking on one of these. The one thing I don't like about the Google Drive aspect of this is that I'm assuming in your Google Drive you have things set into folders and things like that. It does not give you your folders. So you need to know what the name of it is so that you can actually search for it using the search feature. But whenever you figure out like this is one of the things that you want to use, if you go into the article, you can add directions to the students, add extra help summary, add a pre-reading question if you want to. It's really easy to decide what type of question you want. You can align those questions to standards, say no, okay, great. And then if you wanted to add notes about various things within it, all you got to do is highlight. You can insert a question, insert notes, insert links. You can actually white it out so that they can't see what's there. There are some different features to this that you can utilize. So within this one here, there's a few different questions already embedded. And then when you want to assign it, you just click on the assign button. You choose which class you want to assign it to. Click assign. And what it will do is create a draft of it in your Google Classroom. So that way you can post it whenever you are ready. Now, I did create a separate Google Classroom just for this purpose so I can mess around with it. And I also wanted to see what the system looks like from a student perspective. So I had my first grade son join my grad class Google Classroom. And this is what he sees when he gets into the system. And I just want to show you kind of what it looks like from the student perspective for a couple of these different things. So let's go into this TrustBridge activity that was assigned on Google Classroom. He does have to create an account on Actively Learn. He can just sign in with Google using his student ID number from AACPS, which I've already done. And you'll see when I get into the article here, it starts out with a question, and I can't see anything else from the student perspective. So when do you think, any of you want to go ahead and try to answer this? Take a guess.
$18.50.
1850. There we go. And once he submits the question, you'll see that now all of a sudden I have some text available to us. I can actually start to read through the article, look at some of the things in here, and eventually in this one, that's the only question I have. But like if you had additional questions in here, it would stop them so that they actually have to answer each individual question prior to releasing more information in the text itself. If we look at videos with this, this is like the one thing I really like is the fact that I've already started this one. So I can fast forward back to the point I was at, but you see how it comes up with that lock icon. I can't get beyond that because I haven't watched beyond that point yet. Once you get to a new question, it will automatically pause the video so that you have to answer the video. It doesn't allow students to fast forward through the video or anything like that. So they're actually forced to watch the entirety of the video, which is a very, very nice feature for this. Back on the teacher side of things, if you're in class, you can go to the gradebook and you can look at which assignments are completed. You can go into various assignments. Okay, so like I'm looking at Vigo's stuff now. Let's go into that Trust Bridge one. It said that he's 100% done. When do you think the first Trust Bridge was? Okay, that's ungraded. So it tells me here that it's ungraded for him, and you could go ahead and you could grade it based on whatever the answer is. With multiple choice ones, you obviously can kind of have it automatically graded. You can leave feedback that students can access as well. It's a fairly simple system. It doesn't really take too much to learn how to use it, and it definitely will have some advantages utilizing it in the classroom, with the fact that you can kind of control what students can see. You can make sure that they're focusing on each aspect of a text or a video before being able to move on, so that they're not skipping or flying past important information. But that's basically a very brief overview of this system. I want to try to keep this short and that you get on with the rest of your day here. Does anybody have any questions for right now?
I don't think so. I don't have any questions.
Okay. It is a system that I definitely think I'm going to use once I'm done with grad school. Just start importing a whole bunch of our tech ed stuff into there while it's unlimited, because I could see its definite benefits of using this system in the future. I just don't want to have to pay for it.
So on that note, real quick, if you bring in import the files now with your Prime subscription, you'll be able to keep them when you're not Prime anymore?
Yes, you will be able to keep you will be able to keep them when you're not Prime anymore. When that Prime subscription ends, then you're limited to only allowing 3 imports per month.
Okay, cool. That's very cool.
And that's about all I have for that. I'm